Imagine if in this very moment you were aware of the immense power that resides within you. If you were, then you would surely stop wasting your time focusing on external circumstances and you would start focusing on your inner world. And start focusing on the whispers inside of your mind telling you you are more than what you see in the mirror. That small voice is your true nature, and it is the God within you urging you to awaken to your true self and your divine nature. Hello everyone, I am your muse Tracy, and I am here to inspire you and empower you to live the life of your dreams, to create on purpose exactly what you want in all areas of your life, to stop settling and to stop suffering. You are not here to suffer. If that sounds good to you, you are more than welcome to subscribe to my channel. I offer one-on-one coaching and I also offer group coaching. You can find more details about all of that in the description below or on my website. Now let's get into this very, very, very important topic today. The topic and video is heavily inspired by Neville Goddard's lecture where he talks about just this. Stop wasting your time. So I have some quotes and paraphrasing from that lecture. It's such an amazing lecture. I highly recommend that you go and check it out in its entirety. I'm sure you can find it if you search for it online. So let's get into it. So I really want to take you on a journey of self-discovery in this video so that you realize that the only person truly worthy of your undivided attention is yourself. Because when you focus fully on yourself, you unlock the door to infinite possibilities and step into the realm of your desires made manifest. Now, the problem you are likely facing is that the world you see around you seems very, very real, solid, and true. However, the truth, the real truth, is that the world you see around you is nothing more than shadows, a reflection of your inner state. Every person, every circumstance, every triumph, every setback is nothing but a mirror showing you the contents of your own consciousness. When you waste your time focusing on the shadows, the external reality, on the actions or opinions of others, you are focusing on shadows and forgetting the source. When really your attention should be dominantly on your inner world, your inner space, your inner state of being. For this is the true source of everything you see around you. This is the source of the creation you see around you. The 3D reality is the result of your past creations. Now, when I say focus on yourself, I don't mean explore every whim, give in to every hunger. What I mean is connecting with your true nature. I mean connecting to your God self within you, turning your focus inward and connecting with the infinite power that is always available and always within you, waiting for you to shape it and mold it into what it is you want to now experience, what it is you now want to be, to do, and to have. This is not selfish. This is actually the most loving thing you can do for yourself, for anyone you love, and for the world as a whole. To connect to your true nature and to rise up to the highest and best version of yourself. How could this be negative for anyone around you? Think about how much time you spend each day worrying about things beyond your control. The hours wasted in idle longing or wishing, in comparing yourself to others, in fretting over what might be. Can you see how this is a huge misuse of your divine nature and creative power? Every moment you spend here is a moment stolen from your true purpose to imagine and create the life you desire. So with this understanding and a renewed commitment from you to no longer waste your time or your divine creative power, you redirect your attention to where it truly belongs, to your imagination. to your inner world, to the God within you, because it is only by doing this that you can change your outer world or the reflection. Trying to change the mirror before you change yourself is to go against the very nature of the universe. Quote from Neville, paraphrasing from Neville. I don't think it's a direct quote. Your imagination is your workshop. It is the workshop of God. It is the place where all things are conceived before they are born into the physical world. When you focus on your inner world, you are essentially focusing on this divine workshop. You are learning to use the tools of creation that have been bestowed upon you. This is your birthright. This is the innate power born inside of all of us, each and every one. No one of us is any different from the other. There are just varying degrees of limiting beliefs and levels of consciousness. You are like a skilled craftsman, and why would you waste your time as a skilled craftsman watching others work, criticizing their techniques, worrying about their output? You wouldn't. You would create your craft with care, with focus and precision. And you would practice your craft, perfecting your skills day by day by day with intent, on what it is that you desire to create. Your consciousness is your workshop. Your imagination is your most potent tool. And the product of your craft is nothing less than the reality you experience. Now, how do you start? You start by creating the practice of turning your focus inward and creating the state of the wish fulfilled. You can create any internal state through focus, concentration, and practice. Go watch my previous video about state control and how if you are not creating your state on purpose, you're simply reacting. You can be a creator or a reactor, but not both. Not at the same time, at least. So you start by developing the skill and the habit of choosing your state of being. Choose your inner world, shaping it to the likeness you desire to experience externally. You don't need to check if 3D is reflecting you. It reflects you. That's literally all it does. If you haven't integrated this yet, spend some time here. Join me in my live 8-week course, Living in the End, where I will help you cultivate this skill, the only skill you need to manifest everything that you want, by the way, and help you master the art of living in the end. But you don't need to check if 3D reality is reflecting you. There is nothing else for it to do. It doesn't have a mind of its own. That would be like going and standing in front of the mirror to check if it's reflecting you or doing something else. The mirror doesn't have something else to do. The mirror simply reflects, right? That's what your 3D reality does as well. Your 3D reality is never going to show you something that wasn't first held in your consciousness, dwelled upon in your consciousness. It can't, quite literally. It quite literally can't. That would be like standing in front of a mirror and expecting it to show you something other than you, your reflection. Now, a slightly better analogy would be like planting a seed and then digging up the seed to see if it's growing, right? Because the seed needs water, sunlight, nurturing, in other words, and time to grow, right? In our 3D reality, there's a time delay, okay? So the mirror analogy is, instant. So this is a slightly better analogy because just like our 3D reality that is nothing more than a mirror, there's a time delay. Same thing when you plant a seed in the ground. There's a time delay. The seed doesn't immediately sprout out of the ground with the plant or the fruit or whatever you planted. Boom, here it is. It doesn't do that. The seed needs water, sunlight, nurturing, and time to grow. And if you keep digging it up, if you keep digging up the seed, you do not allow it to grow and take shape. You do not allow it to fully form into what it's meant to fully form into. It will. It will. That's what the seed, the contents of the seed, it only produces one thing, right? So if you have, I don't know, like tomato seeds. It will only produce a tomato plant. You don't have to go dig it up and see what is it producing? What are my seeds producing? No, just let it grow. It's going to grow into the thing that was contained in the seed, the thing that was planted. It's not going to grow into anything else. And your 3D reality is no different. You have to create the perfect balance of detachment for your desires. In other words, you have to let them grow. You have to plant the seed in your consciousness and let them grow. The way you do this is the first thing that I teach my clients in group coaching and one-on-one coaching. You do this by integrating the creator belief system. You can't let things grow if you don't know you're the creator. You'll keep digging them up and digging them up and digging them up and digging them up and needing to see it and needing to see it and getting in your own way. And you don't have to do that. You only need to keep digging up the seeds if you don't know you are a farmer. And what the seed needs to grow. The farmer isn't making the seeds grow. The farmer plants the seeds and gives it what it needs and then stays out of the way. That's what the farmer does. Stays out of the way of the seeds growing. They will grow. That's what they do, right? In the right conditions, automatically they grow. That's what a seed does. Your imagination in 3D reality is literally no different. You plant the seeds and then you nurture them, create the inner state where it's already done. You live in the end. You make the imaginal act materialize, you don't make the imaginal act materialize, just like the farmer doesn't make the seeds grow. You don't make the imaginal act materialize. You identify it, you give it water, sunlight, you nurture it, you live in the end, and you let it happen because that's how it works. And you stay out of the way and you allow it, right? Are you guys getting this? It's a super important analogy because if you keep digging up your seeds, meaning you keep needing to see them, you keep checking to see if they're there, just like if the farmer literally did that with the seeds, the farmer's ruining the seeds. He has to go and plant new ones because every time he goes and digs them up, he's ruining the root system. It needs a root system to grow. And every time he goes and digs up to see if it's growing, he ruins the root system. It's the same thing for you and your creation and your imaginal acts. So you don't dig them up. You don't need to see them. You live in the end. You live in the end. You create the state of the wish fulfilled. And you live there. This isn't a one-off thing. This is a moment to moment to moment to moment to moment practice. That's in the name. That's inherent in the name. It's not experiencing the end. It's not choosing the end one time. It's not imagining the end one time. It's literally living in the end. You live there. You practice living there. Now, for those of you who are wondering, how do I focus on myself when the world seems to be against me? When my circumstances are so bad, when people around me are rejecting me or mistreating me, and this message is actually the most important for you. Leave your circumstances alone, meaning disengage with them mentally. Leave them alone mentally. Your circumstances, no matter how challenging they may seem, are not your reality. Let it sink in. Take a moment. I'll say it again. Your circumstances, no matter how challenging they are, no matter how challenging they may seem, are not your reality, unless you say they are. They are mere shadow reflections of your past thoughts and beliefs. Your true reality is what exists in your imagination, in your consciousness. Again, you'll need to integrate this in order to live by it. You've got to make this shift from seeing out there as solid, real, true, to seeing your inner world as what is real and true. And you can. It takes practice, you guys. Have a little grace for yourself. For decades, most likely, you practice this thing of regarding out there as real and solid. So just because you hear this information and it sounds good, it resonates with you. Yeah, I know it resonates because it's truth and truth resonates. But now it's going to take practice. You have to cultivate the skill, and you can. Everything gets easier and better with practice. Do not waste your time and energy fighting against current circumstances. Do not rail against what is. Instead, focus on yourself and on your inner world. Go back to the workshop and cultivate the inner state of being that you wish to embody and experience. Because when you do, when you assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, when you live in the end, despite the outer reality, despite all outer evidence to the contrary, you set in motion a series of events that must inevitably lead to the manifestation of your desire. This is the law. And this is the true test of your faith. It is easy to believe when all is going well, but can you maintain your focus and your inner state? Can you remain firmly in your end when the world and everything around you seems to contradict it? It's a very important question to ask yourself. Can you persist in the assumption that you are who you want to be and that you have what you desire even when your senses deny it? Again, very important question. If you can focus on your inner world and live in the end with unwavering faith, then truly all things are possible for you because you have aligned yourself with the infinite creative power of the universe, which is inside of you and which is your birthright to do so. All right, you guys, that's it for this video. Please leave me a comment down below. If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching to the end. I want you to know I believe in you. My mission is to help you believe in you with unwavering faith and conviction. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.